Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Flying Cork TX. Hey, folks, check this out. I am in downtown Taylor at the old Taylor High School, where they have been refurbishing and renovating the inside of it with multiple, let's see, there's an ale bar in there. There is a ice cream shop in there. Yes, and of course, my favorite, there's a wine bar in there. So we're going to go in there and check out 1922 Libations and Bites and have a sit down with the owner, Grant Lewis, and see what he has going on there. I think he's got a tasting going on typically on Wednesday nights, which is tonight, so we might do a little tasting along with. All right, ready? Let's go. Grant, thank you very much for taking the time to sit with me here. And folks, I'm sitting here with Grant Lewis. He's the owner of 1922 Libations and Bites, right? Yep, in downtown Taylor at the old Taylor High School, which is just an absolutely novel idea of a reuse of a, well, I guess you could call this a historic site.
Yeah, for sure.
How long has this been here?
It was built in 1922.
1922.
Which is where we kind of came up with the name for the concept. We always, my wife and I, is who I refer to when I say we. I always want to do a classic cocktail bar, and me being a sommelier, I wanted to also have wine be a really focal point of the place as well. So you know, once we came in and talked to Cliff, the owner of the space, and realized the school was built in 1922, the name just kind of generically happened for us, and that's what we built the whole idea and concept around. So.
All right, yeah, and fortunately for me, Taylor is only a mere 15, 20 minutes away, I guess. So you and your wife, what made you come up with this this concept and putting this in Taylor? I know there's not one in Taylor.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one in Taylor yet.
We moved to Taylor just over 3 years ago now, and you know, there was nothing in Taylor that we wanted to go enjoy besides the Loose Screw, which also happens to be here in Old Taylor High. So we fell in love with this building. We first moved to Taylor. We loved the idea of repurposing and, like you said earlier, taking something that was probably just an eyesore in the town that people hated being here and making it something really cool and a destination spot. And you know, we didn't realize back then 3 years ago that we'd be opening a business in here, but as Samsung announced and all the new things happening with the town about to expand and about to become something, you know, hopefully on the horizon, very near horizon, something way more than it is currently, it kind of seemed like the perfect time and opportunity to get in before everything exploded and be established and ready to go whenever the boom happens, and be you know, already part of town instead of the newcomer trying to get my foothold in, you know. So.
Right. Well, yeah, you are right. Definitely a prime time. When Samsung does open up, I foresee increasing your staff by at least 2 people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be great. So being in this old high school, what room, before we get to the wine, what room did this used to be?
It depends on the year and whether it was a high school or middle school, because it was a high school first and then it became a middle school. But when it was a high school, I've heard that this was arithmetic, this was English, and that this was American history. And then when it was a middle school, I've heard it was computer science, math, and English again are the predominant things that I hear more often than not. So,
And now it's viticulture.
Yep.
Viticulture. I believe in what used to be the science lab is now the ice cream.
Yep.
Ice cream place.
As well as the upstairs, the Sophie's Closet. It used to be the other science lab because it's got a little built-in back room that they would store all the beakers and all that kind of stuff in back there as well.
Okay. So. I have not yet been upstairs, so there's open places up there now too.
Yeah, there's a clothing boutique. There's a cool little knick-knack store. There's an apothecary. There's a salon. There's all kind of a tutoring place up there. You know, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, tutoring place. So Another learning spot.
Right, exactly.
I know you have a gaming shop across the store here.
Yep.
Met them, very nice couple over there, so that's really cool too. Were you two originally from here?
No, I'm originally I was born in Michigan, but raised in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So we moved to Texas when I was about 6 months old. So Texas is all that I know. You know, it's where I'm from. It's what I consider home. So Michigan for us was just family vacation.
Right. Yeah. Definitely been a very fun place. I know tonight on Wednesday nights you have your wine tasting nights.
That I do. Wine down Wednesdays.
And on is it Thursdays or Fridays, is that going to be a consistent thing? Steak night that you had?
Yep. Every Thursday from 5:30 until we sell out, we do 8-ounce prime filet with corned beef potatoes, roasted green beans, and a dinner roll for $36. So.
All right, it's Wednesday night, so I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow night for dinner if I can, maybe, or at least next week. When I get back into town. Tell us about your agenda for the outside here.
So currently, I've got 4 large tables out there that I have going. A really good friend of mine just opened up his food truck out there as well. We just got going. That should be open Thursday, Friday, Saturdays to start off with, and expanding from there. But it's called Take It Easy Tacos. It's what he calls Tex-Mex. No, Mex-Tex. Excuse me. So it's Texas-inspired barbecue. So he smokes with all the Texas woods for 16 hours. Then he braises it all in the oven for 3 hours. Reconcils all the juices back in. Pulls it all apart, makes it into tacos, quesadillas, burritos, tortas, nachos, all kinds of good things. And so it's all fresh smoked. He's got the smoker on the back of the truck out there. He smokes every day to have fresh barbecue for the next day. And it's a great addition to have. It just gives that little bit extra food options on top of what I already do inside the space. So
not Tuesdays. Tuesdays for Taco Tuesdays?
Maybe eventually, it's up to him. It's,
have to have a Taco Tuesday.
It's his own business. I've said the same thing to him as well about a few different things, and he'll get there. Like I said, he just opened up last week. It was the first weekend to be open. So after the joyous permitting process and getting finished with all that stuff, we're finally able to get him up and running last weekend. And so far, it was a good start. People are really excited. He makes amazing tacos. So it's a good addition to the scene we already have going on here in Taylor.
Definitely. What's our wine tasting this evening? What do you have?
So today I've got a flight of red blends from all over the world, starting off with the West Cave Cellars Spectrum Red Blend out of Jonestown, Texas, right outside of Fredericksburg, up in the hill country up there. It's just a proprietary red blend. It's a blend of all the different red grapes they put together there. It's a nice, really easy drinking, nice fruit, nice character, good taste of terroir as well, but definitely more fruit driven, and that little kind of jam on the backbone there with a little bit of zin and stuff, kind of characteristics going on in there. Then you move on into the Chateau La Sarrie, which is coming out of the Southern Rhone, which is a Syrah Grenache blend. And then finish off with the Melios 2020 dry red wine, which is from Greece. So it's a really fun Greek red blend with the predominantly Merlot being the predominant grape in there, with the finishing it off with a indigenous grape varietal that kind of rounds it out, gives that nice earthy kind of characteristic and that dry backbone to it. Still really approachable, being Merlot base and Merlot forward. So it's just a really nice kind of, with both of these wines, I say they're kind of a good introduction to European wines or old world wines for somebody who doesn't really drink that style of wine. They're not too dry, they're not too earthy, but still does have that backbone characteristic to it to let you start, kind of getting your feet wet with that European style of wine. So,
yeah, starting with, and of course, keeping to the theme of Texas wines. Very happy that you have this, and West Cave is definitely pretty amazing.
They do a great job. It's a really fun wine. It's great for me to start it off with because people, for whatever reason in their mind, they always think of Texas wines being bigger, heavier, bolder style wines and I like to start off with this one because it does still have that backbone, that body structure, but the flavors are really nice and soft and really beautiful fruits, and it has this like really kind of floral bouquet that really helps make it a nice approachable starting point for the wine without being too fruity, too sweet, too dry, too anything. It's just kind of right in the middle of the road, right, and it hits the anything that you're going to want to be having. It's just a really nice,
pretty neutral oak too, which is really nice. And the jamminess, as you said, there's a brighter red fruits, very tasty. You're right, very easy. Food or no food, very easy. And this would definitely be great with barbecue too.
For sure.
With that truck when he opens up.
Or one of my steak sliders that I do in here, or the meatballs, I also do a really awesome thick cut honey glazed bacon where I have almost pork belly style thick cut bacon that we do with it's already honey cured, and I do a local honey from one of my farmer friends here in Taylor that gives me a local Taylor honey, and I pour over the top of that to get a nice honey glaze over the top of it as well. So.
Yeah. So your food and your meat you're keeping pretty local as well.
I do as much as I can. You know, I try to support everybody. You know, I offer Big O's ice creams in my adult milkshake right down the hallway. I also have Brown Sugar Bakery. They make 2 exclusive flavors for me as far as their boozy cheesecakes. I have an espresso martini and an old-fashioned cheesecake that they make for me to offer here as my dessert options for people to have that still kind of plays theme, and it goes along with keeping it local and keeping it here in Old Taylor High with 2 other businesses that are here in the high school with me as well. So
yeah, maybe we'll get some more operations in here like cheese and
and I do a cheese and charcuterie board as well, and right now I've got 3 really nice cheeses on there. I rotate cheeses as I run out and as I find new ones that I want to put on there. So it's always expanding. Same thing with my meats on the charcuterie board. So right now I've got a French brie. I have a Prairie Grease cheddar cheese, which is a nice soft white cheddar coming out of California, and I have a black truffle pecorino cheese, which has actual bits of black truffle chunks in the cheese, not truffle oil. So you get the actual.
That one new. I don't think I've tasted that before.
Yeah, I just brought it in not long ago.
Okay.
I also
have to try that.
I
do love
Spanish
truffle.
chorizo on the meat side of the charcuterie board as well. So it's a really nice Spanish chorizo. It's got a little bit of spice without being over the top or obtrusive to really kind of bring in some of the European style wines, that nice dried meats and kind of spicy backbone flavor to them. So
let's see, the pretzel bites. I've had those.
Yeah. With
those
2
are really
different
good.
options, with the goat cheese or with the spicy mustard, depending upon what you enjoy there, along with your pretzels. So.
Right. You mentioned steak sliders. I don't think I've tried that yet either, but I'm a big slider fan all the way around too.
So it works out to be about 5 ounces of meat between both sliders, with a bacon jam and then crispy fried onions over the top of it. So you get a nice little crunch with the fried onions and that little bit of habanero bacon jam to give you a little bit of spice and that nice kind of sweet bacon flavor as well to go along with the in-house made steaks. It's a baseball cut fillet that I do that I cook ahead of time, slice off and then finish off on a smokeless grill to get the char marks and bring it to temperature and all that kind of stuff per order. So
you seem to have a lot of capabilities in a very small, sort of a makeshift kitchen space behind the bar there. So.
Yep. Yeah, when I built the bar myself, and so when I built the bar, I designed it to be the L shape with the kitchen being one side of it and the bar being another side of it. That way it could be easy inspection, it could be easy delineation. When I get to the point where I have enough food options that I have somebody that's here just to make food, I can have them be in their zone, and the bartender can be more in their zone, so it's more delineated, so they're not running over each other, kind of tripping over each other, trying to get stuff done. It just seemed like the best use of space to still also be able to have a seating area to have that nice lounge feel like I wanted it to be, you know. So it took 4 or 5 different designs before we landed on the one that we actually went with to maximize space. And after getting in here and really being able to lay stuff down on the floor to see how it would lay out and how it would feel with the designs we had, we realized that the first few renditions just wouldn't be feasible, wouldn't work well, wouldn't play well. It would be hard to move behind, and it just wouldn't be exactly what we were trying to achieve as far as the feel and the vibe of the place. So
right. Yeah, as compact as it is, it has a pretty nice output. Really good bites that you have behind there so far.
We're having fun. People are really receptive to what we're doing. Really happy to have a true classic cocktail bar and a really good wine bar that you can come in and get a really good glass of wine. It's not often you find a sommelier-driven program anywhere, especially out in a little town like Taylor, to have something where I really try to put a lot of thought behind what I'm doing and have a direction and what I want the wine list to be and what I want kind of the flavor profiles to be and how I want to guide you through the world of wine and not just have a whole bunch of Cabernets and a whole bunch of Pinot Noirs and a whole bunch of Chardonnays, because that's the big wines that everybody likes to drink. I like to try to not necessarily force you to get out of your comfort zone, but ease you out of your comfort zone. I try to get you to try something new and trust what I'm doing and what I'm bringing in by the fact that you're going to get something that you haven't had before that you can't. You can just find anywhere and be readily available and get something that's really well made for the price.
Yeah, well, that's wine is discovering. The more you taste, the more your taste buds are going to shift over time, and you're going to find something that you don't normally drink that blows you away. Because how I got into wine in the first place.
For sure. And that's one of the things I do. I often throw white wine on the flights as well because so many people just come in and go, I don't drink white wines. It's because they've tried one or two wines they didn't enjoy, and they just wrote off all things white or all things that varietal, all things whatever. And it's like, like when people tell me, oh, I don't like Chardonnays, it's like, you just haven't tasted the one that you haven't found the one that's right for you. And like you said earlier, that's the thing. The joy of wine is you'll never know what you really like until you spend the time to go through all the muck and to find that hidden gem that is what you're looking for. Not that all wine is muck, because there's such great such great variety and amazing different things. But everybody's palate is so unique and so your own that that's what I would say to people when they ask me, like, how did you get here? I'm like, I drank a lot of wine. Right. There's no other way to get there besides you can study all you want, you can read all the books you want, you can do all that kind of stuff, you can memorize everything, but actually get in there and taste it and experience it, and can tell those stories from experience, from tasting, and really describe what you're tasting in front of you to somebody. That's how you build that trust to get them to walk in the door and just go, whatever you want to pour me, and not even look at the list, not even look at what we have, just whatever you want, whatever I'm gonna like, just pour me a glass, So it's a great feeling when you get to that level with your customers where they literally walk in and say, whatever you want to pour me, and it's we designed this to
what do you have that's new?
Right, exactly. We designed this to we want it to feel like your den. So you're still at home drinking with your friends, having a great glass of wine, a great cocktail, a snack, whatever it happens to be, what you're hanging out with some new people. Hopefully in the bar you meet people. We designed it to be all kind of family style seating for the most part, to force you to sit with other people, because we love that idea of not having TVs on the walls, not having on that stuff to distract you. And
I'm pretty grateful for that. The no TVs.
I mean, we love it. We wanted it to be that. Talk to people around you. Talk to the person that you're there with. There's a reason why you're here with that person. Enjoy their company, enjoy their time. Don't be distracted by other things, pulling your attention away all over the place. Just enjoy that time with the person you're here with. There's a reason why you're with that person. Let's focus on that person. So or those people, depending upon the group or what's going on. So
what was the second one you said is
Chateau Lastari, coming out of the Southern Rhone. It's a 65% Syrah, 35% Grenache.
I think it's that Syrah that's giving it the oak. The oak is giving it just that a real light layer of the vanilla. Is there, and it's a very silky too.
Yeah, I love it because I get that nice little kind of cracked black pepper nuance on the finish. That's like the finishing flavor that you get. That little touch of spice that kind of trails off along with that little bit of vanilla. That it just really makes for a great, well-balanced, like I said, leaning towards that European-style dry, terroir-driven, without being in-your-face dry, in-your-face earthy. It has that backbone to it, but it still has that beautiful, like I said, elegant, silky kind of finesse to it with that fruit flavor.
That's very nice, The Grenache brightens it up a little bit, brings a little bit of the red fruits to the table. That's really good. Any future secrets that you're thinking about?
I'm in the process of creating like a wine,
which it won't be a secret anymore, by the way.
It's the process of creating a flight menu. So I'm trying to get away from the creating a custom flight every single Wednesday. Always, making new things every Wednesday. Not that I don't enjoy doing that, because I absolutely love it, but it's really hard inventory standpoint with a small place to bring new wines in every Wednesday and try to keep up with that and then sell through that and everything else. And it's I want my wine flights to also be my wines by the glass to promote the use and just get people out and try all the different things, be able to experience all the wines of the world and kind of have that experience. So that's my next process. I'm tasting through a bunch of stuff right now with all my reps to get all the flights kind of honed in and where I want to move from the list, because I just expanded the list to where it is about a month, 2 months ago, to kind of see where my clientele went, where the people were really looking for. And now I can start making tasting menus geared off of what the flavor profiles that they like. But again, getting them out of their comfort zone, getting them out of the normal things they've been drinking, and expand out and branch out and bring in some new cool things from around the world to really push the envelope and have some fun and do some different options for people and always keep it changing and keep it evolving.
Yeah. I'm curious to see with when the Samsung plant opens, what sort of people that they are going to bring to me. Taylor, Auto, and the surrounding area. What percentage of that employee base is gonna move into town versus what they get that
Right.
existing living here. And
that's one of the other things that I wanted to do by doing this was try to have it be something to where it's an incentive for them to want to move here, for them to want to stay in Taylor, because you're close to where the plant's going to be, you're close to where you're going to be working, but there's fun stuff to do here. You don't have to look in Georgetown, you don't have to look in North Austin, you don't have to look in Pflugerville, those other places to have a fun, cool spot to be. You can still be out here in this really cool little country town out here that's got a little touch of sophistication and a nice, really unique option of something there to give you something really special. So, and create a really nice experience and give you something unique. So,
well, being inside of an old high school, how much more unique you can get already starting. I mean, still wrapping my head around that whole concept, which is brilliant. It beats tearing it down. And in an old town like Taylor, what else would you put up?
Exactly, a new gaudy apartment building. Or
hopefully
like
not an
Keep the
apartment building
character,
farther out. Yeah,
right. Keep the character of the town intact. Keep it feeling like it did. The reasons why those of us that were here before Samsung, the reasons that made us decide to move here, then to buy our place here, that character, that vibe, that feel, that nuance of the country town, and keep it there. There's no reason why you got to get rid of it and do all this nothing but new construction all over the place. Keep the original character in the downtown, historic downtown area, and then have all the new cool stuff kind of expand out from there. This is my newest addition. I just got this. I just added this on last Wednesday. Actually, I got it in last Thursday. So first time to be able to feature it on the wine flight, or in general that people try it. Besides, people have hand sold it to since I got it in, which it's already been about 3.5 bottles worth in the last week of selling about the glass. So this is the Melios. It's a Merlot and Marvel Daphne blend, with Merlot being the predominant grape in there. So really fun Greek wine. I enjoy the Greek wines, and just European wines in general. I love all wines, but I grew up drinking European wines, and so that still has a special place in my heart, is the European wines, and that's where I lean towards more for my personal collection at home than anything else. But I also know that my job is to create a program that the people will enjoy, not full of stuff that I want, all the funky stuff that I want to have. So.
This one, the Helios, and also like the West Cave Cellars, aroma-wise falls into what I say is like the comfort food category.
Sure.
Like when you're a kid and you go into the house and you just smell mom's cooking, and it's like, yes, I know what's for dinner.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but
this definitely has a little bit bigger body and structure, and a little bit bigger tannins, but still, light, easy, approachable. Nice fruit, but a good kind of little bit more of that European funky backbone finish on it.
And just after the little bit of the pruniness from the Merlot, just a tiny bit of that dark cherry comes through.
Right. It's really one of the things I love about all three of these wines is there's so much dimension, so much character, so many layers to them, that as you really sit back, enjoy, take the time to let them open up and breathe, and really, break the wine down as you're drinking it, enjoying it like people my wife makes something all the time, because I sit back and I drink a glass of wine. Every sip I take, it's like I'm doing a tasting, and she's like, why do you do that? It's like, because I want to get every nuance, every character, every bit of the wine every time I drink it. I don't want to just get the first sip and then from there on just gulp it down. I want to enjoy what it is I'm drinking. There's a reason why I ordered this. So
decanting is one thing, and in some cases that's fine, but more often than not, I would rather do that in the glass itself.
I agree.
Just like you said, you pour a glass, and as you drink it down the glass, it's different all the way down. And
just watching the evolution of the wine, right there in front of you, and tasting that tight, nuanced flavors when you first open it, giving it, a good 2-minute vigorous swirl after the first sip, and then digging back into it and seeing how that this is blown off and what the bouquet now offers and everything in between, and just being able to sit back and enjoy, and
how different it is by that last sip.
Exactly. And especially if you drink like I do, where one glass takes you 30-45 minutes, by the time you finish the bottle, 3 hours later, it's evolved into a whole different beast altogether.
Me too. Many people will agree. that I'm a slow drinker.
Yeah.
And wine, that's great. With beer, it's not so great.
Right.
By the time you're done with a pint and it's warm, almost room temperature.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's why I never order a 32. I
agree.
always order a pint.
Yeah. I don't drink fast enough to drink a big beer before it gets room temperature, and has lost all the luster of why I wanted the beer to begin with it being cold and crisp and refreshing, you know. So
Indeed. You mentioned before about your seating and making it more in a way where people have to sit together or other people have to sit with other people. And when I get some photos, I will upload those as well. And you'll see the table. It's definitely family style. I'm Italian, so
right.
I always love family style everything. Even in Texas, a lot of barbecue places just have big tables.
Right. And, you know, we wanted that
Great.
to be because I remember, you know, I've been in this business for coming up on 30 years, and I remember when that's what it was. You went out to mingle and to talk, to meet people around you, to get to know the neighbors and the new people that were there, and to have that interaction. And we wanted to really bring that back to the forefront and have that be something that was really, you know, the focal point of what we do.
And I love wine clubs. Do you have any wine club memberships that you're thinking about starting that? Or
I'm in the process.
It is a whole other aspect of the business.
No, I definitely want that to be a new element that I'm going to put in here as well. I'm in the process of talking with TABC because I want to use the lockers in the hallway to be where the people that sign up for my wine club come in and get their wine out of the locker. So it plays into the old Taylor High School, the high school thing where you're coming to school, go to your locker, open it up, instead of getting homework, you take your case of wine out, your 6 bottles, your case, whatever that you're bringing in.
I like that idea.
But I have to make sure that that's the legalities of it, because it's not inside my space. It's in a public area that people just kind of walk through, and having storing of somebody else's wine or just wine in general, something with alcohol in it, in the public space. Even though we'll be behind lock and key with the locks, everything on the lockers, it's still not inside my space where I can keep track of it and we do have cameras out there. You know, the school has cameras to watch everything, but at the same token, you know, I still want to make sure the legalities of it before I just start just storing wine in lockers, and then all of a sudden I can get in trouble.
Yet another novel idea. Yeah, I like that.
So that's
great.
in the works. I just got to wait for somebody from TABC to get back in touch with me to let me know if that's something I can do or not. And once that happens, I've already talked to the owners of the building, and they're totally cool with me doing it. They just said we just need to make sure that it's legal before we allow you to start doing that. So, so that's in the works. That's something else in the future that I'm looking to get to have become, you know, another avenue, another side of what we do. You know, to keep kind of pushing that fun aspect of new wines on people, you know. So
very nice. Let's see.
What's your favorite so far?
Well, I have to be a Texas wine advocate. They have certifications now for that, which I'm going to do definitely this summer.
I want to do it too. I've been looking into it as well. So
between the West Cave and the Melios, it does have that little bit of a spicy note on the finish. Yeah, I think I'm going to be biased. I'm going to say West Cave.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But that's okay.
With that.
I really did like them all. The Chateau Lancier is I like the silkiness of it, and the just that layer of tannins that it has in there. So that one was really nice. So yeah, but both are really great.
There's a reason I brought the West Cave Cellars in, because they do a stellar job. All their wines are fantastic. They do a really, really good job just across the board as far as representing Texas wines and being an advocate for what can be done here, growing the right grapes, growing stuff that does really well, putting a good foot forward for well-made wines out of Texas. And it's just a great product all the way around. And just like I said, it highlights how good it can be, and getting away from that idea that people have that, oh, it's just California juice that's being bottled in Texas, you call it Texas wine. You know, actually growing.
It does happen, but not
as predominant as it was at the beginning of the
There's a lot of great grape growth in this.
For sure.
In this state, and I believe we're looking at pushing upwards of 600 almost wineries in the state.
Yeah.
And if they're new, a lot of people start out with California grapes, but then they start.
It takes time to be able to
once they start meeting.
Well, it takes time to get your vines to maturity and to be able to get good juice out of it, and unless you have the backing to sit there for 5 to 7 years without making any money and only having money go out the door, then you need to do something to supplement your income, and you might as well get your name out there, have people starting to drink your juice, and then once you get to a point where you start
of an income go,
estate on the bottle and stuff like that, you get away from the idea, or you get away from what you were doing before, and after you do a couple of vintages of a same estate to let people know it's grown here, you can stop doing that and just have that be all your wines. They're not
Right.
locally grown.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but that's one thing that people just don't realize. You don't just plant vines and be like, I'm making wine, you know?
Right, right, yeah.
There's years of them growing and really not producing any grapes to make wine out of until they get mature enough and their roots are established enough that you're getting enough yield that you can actually make a good product. And beyond that, they're putting the flavors into the grapes that you need to be there. You know, there's a lot that the science side of the wine world is amazing. So
Yeah, definitely. And it is really nice and exciting for me, and I know it will be for many others as well, that you have a Texas, at least one Texas wine in the wine bar here.
And I will expand my
That's
Texas
always a
flight.
great thing.
Sure, I'm planning on having a Texas flight on the menu. That'll be one of my flights. Will be a Texas flight where it features only Texas wines, to be able to go through and have a couple different samples of what Texas is doing from, probably one white and two reds, just to give you a whole spread, because we're making really good wine in Texas.
A singular varietal, if you have a Texas wine, an old world but of the same varietal, and then another new world varietal, I don't know, California or something like that, but if you have a flight like that, a Texas old world and a somewhere else new world, show the different varietals in different regions. That would be a lot. That would be a lot of fun too.
The same varietal, but done differently. But we could either do that.
It would be very different.
That's fun about Texas, that they're finally starting to pick the right varietals that indigenously they come from places that have climate and soil very similar to what we do. So they grow really well here and they actually produce well, instead of just trying to plant the show grapes that everybody wants to have. We're doing stuff that's gonna showcase itself and show well here with what we do.
So you said you're about to have baby number 3.
Number 3, yep. Any day now. So
Any day, potentially any minute now. I know it's not here yet, but while we do still have wine left in the glass, I definitely want to say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ahead of time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I also want to say thank you again for sitting with me and talking about what you have going on.
Thank you for wanting
a lot of fun,
me and my place and getting out there for your followers and your people to see what we're doing out here, and maybe choose to make a trip out to Taylor to come check us out and come see what we got going on. So
yeah, absolutely. We have Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto, all of that, massive as it is. Taylor is just a stone's throw away to
it really is.
Come out here and even more than this. There's a lot more than this in this building to actually visit and see. So yeah, and of course steak night, future flights. I definitely have to come out here and visit.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the thumbs up, and definitely come out here to see Grant. This is a really awesome little place here. You have to come and visit. And again, cheers and thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.